Mr. President, thank you very much for talking to Fox News. You have sent a letter to President Obama. Has he responded?
The merciful.
At the
outset, I'd like to say hello to your good audience and the good people of America. I wish you all a happy time and hope you've had a great day, and I wish joy and success from Almighty God for all of you. Of course, I'm sure that had he responded, you would have known.
Maybe not. Maybe there's diplomatic channels that we don't know about.
But my letter to him was announced, and the content of the letter was published. Of course, I sent him a second letter regarding the terrorists who are in parts of Afghanistan and Pakistan and infiltrate into Iran and kill innocent people.
How about Al-Qaeda and the Taliban that are killing Americans and are helping to destroy those countries?
Any group, any individual, whether those who come to Iran to kill innocent people and are backed by U.S. military bases. And I actually asked Mr. Obama to take heed so that the military bases there do not support these groups. Now, anyone who kills anybody else is doing a useless act, because killing is the wrong thing to do. Rather than murder and killing, they can have friendships. We could have friendships, in other words.
Does that mean that you will stop killing protesters and those who want democracy in your country?
We don't feel that when you clash with the police, you're seeking democracy. When you kill a police man, do you think that that is calling for democracy? I'd like to ask, say, policeman, would you call them a democratic seeker?
Well, that's a crime.
A democracy
that would be a crime.
seeker? I mean, is killing policemen the equivalent of seeking democracy?
But you have protesters and people who want democracy in your country.
I would be the first person who wants democracy in my country. I am the result of a democracy, the way I see it, at the highest level of democracy in history. The best democracy, and so to say. I have received over 2.5 times more votes than American presidents have.
Mr. President,
so that is democracy.
Since we have a short time, let me skip to some other questions. You wished Americans well, but you have insulted millions and millions of Americans by claiming that the U.S. government had a hand in 9/11. Quite frankly, sir, how could you say such an insane and nutty thing?
Would you address your own president the same way? Would they ever allow you to?
In terms of that remark, sir, in terms of those remarks...
You probably didn't read the full
Yes, I was there yesterday. What evidence do you have that the U.S. government is responsible for 9/11? Well, you're smiling.
Well, if you like to talk, please do that. It sounds to me that you want to give a speech, so please do. I don't think you need me to respond to you. It's your television
All right, I'm just asking a question. Let me then switch to something else.
You're not even allowing me to respond.
Go ahead.
And you insult me as well. I announced and actually suggested 3 theories. And these 3 theories are present here in the minds of American people. Numerous books have been written on them.
Do you believe yourself? Do you believe that the government had a hand in 9/11?
I did not give an opinion of my own. I actually suggested that a fact-finding group and mission be formed to delve into the truth. Do you think that the entire world has to accept what the U.S. government tells them? Or do you think that perhaps a fact-finding mission is necessary to tell the world?
Osama bin Laden has taken credit. Al-Qaeda officials have taken credit. It seems very clear.
That's fine, but the fact-finding mission can shed light on who the perpetrators were. Who is Al-Qaeda? Who is, where does it exist? Who was it backed by and supported? All these should come to light. Where do they receive their financial resources? We like to shed light on these. How is it that they were able to infiltrate the security layers and intelligence layers of the United States?
Sir, if I can, because we have such short time. I'm sorry to interrupt. I apologize for interrupting, but we have such a short time.
No, allow me. You have to allow my sentence to finish. There are tens of sentences that have remained unanswered over this incident. Over 1 million people have been killed in our region alone. Every day people are being killed. Even American troops are being killed. Why? It must become clear what the cause of this incident was. And once that is clear, we can then remedy the problem there. Right now, we have a blind war going on in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, and in Iraq. Has terrorism been eliminated? It has not. The policies of the U.S. government in Afghanistan and Iraq are incorrect. They are wrong policies. Why were Afghanistan and Iraq occupied? Because of September 11. If there's a fact-finding mission to identify exactly who was behind September 11 and what the problem was, then all countries can gather together and solve the problem. But do not expect everyone to repeat and accept the version given by the U.S. government over the incident. We don't feel forced to have to do it, to accept what they say or what you say.
Sir, let me move on to another subject. We have
Very
a limited
well,
time.
you can go on, you can move on, but I think that September 11 is a very important event because as a result of that, every day people are being killed and displaced now. Infrastructures in their countries are being
Speaking
destroyed.
of September 11th, let me move on to
over $400 billion a year is being spent.
Let me move on
over
to an associated question. Near Ground Zero, there is a plan for an Islamic community center. Do you support the imam who is planning the so-called Ground Zero Mosque, and do you think that mosque and that building should be built?
I have no opinion about it. The authorities of the municipality and the relevant officials and authorities and the people of New York have to decide about it. It's an issue related to New York, and whatever the laws here say, that can be done. Either way, I see it.
Let me now switch to the nuclear program and the nuclear issue. Would you swear to Allah that you are not planning to build a nuclear bomb?
Do I have to swear?
Well, you have to say your view.
You are telling me that I have to? You have to determine what I have to say?
Well, do you?
Who says have to? What kind of language? Is there a law that tells me that I have to?
Do you want to pursue a nuclear bomb?
Is there a law that tells me that I must swear to convince others? I have said on numerous occasions that we do not want an atomic bomb.
Why should we believe you? You are violating 4 UN resolutions. You've kicked out UN inspectors. Why should the world believe anything that you say on this subject?
We do not insist that you should believe us. We've never said that you should. You are free not to believe us. But why would you insist on imposing your view on us with resolutions, with force?
Because the government and the Security Council says that your government is not cooperating fully, as you should.
So, does the Zionist regime cooperate fully? Does the U.S. government, has it cooperated with the IAEA? How come it is spending $80 billion to promote and upkeep its atomic bombs? Is the U.S. government a member of the NPT or not? And at the same time spending $80 billion, is that considered expanding an atomic program?
But the question, sir, is about your program.
So who's supposed
and the
to be
problems
swearing
that you've had
here?
in your program.
I mean, look, this is comparative, and you are speaking on behalf of the U.S. government
No, sir,
here.
I'm not. I'm a journalist. I'm an independent, objective journalist.
But right now you said that the U.S. government has condemned Iran and that the UN Security Council has.
Yes, that's fact.
How do you represent them?
No, I do not, but I'm representing fact.
Then hear me. If you are a media, you have to transfer the facts and the statements. You must not sit in judgment of it, but you are judging.
Let me switch. No, I'm asking the question, sir.
But allow me to clarify. When you judge, you are in fact moving away from your job of being a journalist. It is true that you are backed by the Defense Department in the United States, but that should not allow you to judge. You must only transfer news and views.
Who is backed by the Defense Department? Can you clarify what you said? Who is backed by the Defense Department?
You're almost arguing with me. Do you represent the U.S. government? Do you represent the Security Council?
No, I do not. Let me ask another question. You have said that you want to wipe Israel off the map. Would you feel safer if Israel did not exist?
It cannot harm our safety and security. It has nothing to do with our security. It is a humane discussion here. What we are saying is that occupation must cease, that the siege of the people of Gaza should stop, that murders and killing must stop, that terror must stop, that lies must end.
Well, then will Iran stop supporting terrorist groups?
Could you repeat that, please?
Will Iran stop supporting terrorist groups?
Is Iran supporting them? Do you think that the $400 billion spent on war in the Middle East is going where? From the day the American troops and the Allied troops entered Iraq and Afghanistan, terrorists has increased 100-fold. Just 2 days ago, they carried out an explosion, a terrorist attack in Iran, and killed women. And a month before that, they set a bomb and exploded it in a mosque, which killed a large number of people. We are victims of terrorism.
Let me switch.
We are victims of terrorism. The Zionist regime is the statue of state terrorism.
Would you support Israel if it renounced Zionism?
Yes, we are opposed to Zionism. We say that in Palestine, people must be allowed to decide. That they have a right to national sovereignty and exercise that right. The Security Council has that, but the Charter cannot be enforced as such. How does that work?
And let me switch to another question because of our time. Will you release? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Has allowed the Palestinian nation the right to national sovereignty. Why is nobody following the Charter of the United Nations with regards to the right of the Palestinian people? We're saying that the Palestinian nation must be allowed to decide for itself and that occupiers must leave. Everybody must return to their own homes. And then the problem will be resolved.
Speaking of returning to your own homes, if I can ask you another question, will you release the 2 American hikers? You can do it right now. You can announce it at this moment in front of this camera that you will release the 2 American hikers who are still being held.
Could you tell me, like, for example, that 2.5 million American prisoners would suddenly be released today or tomorrow?
So you're saying it will have to go through the judicial system?
Why are they in prison in the first? Yes.
Would you meet with Benjamin Netanyahu?
Why should I meet with him?
Are
you ordering me to?
No, I'm asking.
It seems like you're ordering me to now.
What would you say to him?
Why should I meet him? Or no, I will not meet with him.
And
of course, my message is that they should return to their own homes. They should stop killing people and stop waging war and not engage in terror and not build atomic bombs and not to place the people in Gaza under pressure. Well, people are free to hear everything and judge for themselves. Those some are not you. Those some are not you, right?
No, I'm very free to hear. But the final question.
You are the media. You are non-partisan and impartial, right?
How do you hope to... Time's up. How do you hope to cement American-Iranian relations? The president has said the door is open for negotiations. Can you reach out to the administration, and are you willing to, fully, freely, and fairly, to come clean about your nuclear program?
We don't see a problem with our nuclear program, and we are not trying to come clear so that everybody can rest assured of anything, because from the day that we exercise our own freedom and exercise democracy, the American officials seem to be concerned for us. Ever since we forced dictatorship out of our country that was dependent on the United States, they have not had a rest. So it's not our job to make others rest. But if the U.S. government accepts international law and justice and fairness with regard to us and respect to us, then opportunities will be before it.
The U.S. government says you should do the same.
But if it's going to continue the same way it has so far, the conditions will remain the same.
And do you believe the Mahdi is coming soon?
Do you know Mahdi?
Some, the 12th Imam. Do you? But an apocalypse must come.
Do you know what his characteristics are?
Please tell me.
He loves mankind. He's a friend of mankind. He is opposed to killing. He is opposed to discrimination. He opposes poverty. He wants everyone to be friends. He wants no one to force its will on others. He wants no domination, occupation, and terror. He wants everyone to be honest, to back each other up.
But for him to come, there must be an apocalypse.
To speak in justice. Not at all. He will come to end the murders, to end the occupations, to make everyone friends, so that everyone will love each other. Is it wrong for such person to come and arrive? We think it's good. We think the world needs it, and he will come.
Thank you.
Much sooner than you think or would know.
Thank you.